Hi, my name is Juliet Walls, and for the lesson plan that I implemented, it focused on within our social studies content, and students actually had to compile a digital yearbook within Google Slides, as well as create a voice thread to be able to explain their reasoning behind their selections in their yearbook. When I mean selections, I'm talking about superlatives that students were had to award historical figures, like most influential figure, biggest game changer, most likely to change the world as we know it, most important invention, as well as the biggest economic visionary. This really allowed the students to use those higher order thinking skills, allowed them to kind of analyze and evaluate the material that they've learned and compile it within our digital yearbook. So the first technology aspect of this particular lesson plan, of course, starts with our district's portal. Every student knows to go to our district's website, click on CCPS portal, and then it'll bring them to a sign-in page and eventually bring them to this portal. The focus within this was Google Drive, which of course, as you can see, accesses all of our Google Suite applications that every student has access to. Also, Google Classroom, which takes it directly to the classroom instead of having to go through the different steps, as well as Studies Weekly. This particular site is our social studies curriculum guide, and within this particular Studies Weekly, students really have the chance to use this to the best of their ability. Meaning, those students that need a little extra help or accommodations, or a lot of my English language learners, have the opportunity to have these articles read to them as a way to kind of pick up on the language, as well as infuse the information from this particular site into their digital yearbooks. So students had to, of course, go to their classroom, where I uploaded the requirements for the digital yearbook. And also within the requirements, as you can see, it also uploaded many of the resources that students can use that I got from our georgiastandards.org website, where they provide teacher notes and a way for to guide teacher's instruction. I also had the opportunity to post the rubric for students, and I just created this yearbook online in Rubric Maker. This was a great way for students to know exactly what they had to do. And as you can see, the digital portfolio was included in this particular portion, where they had to be creative, as well as their voice thread here. The good thing about this particular site that I created, the rubric on, it also gives a checklist for students to make sure that they have met those rubric requirements. So that was, of course, one way in which students were assessed within this particular program. Students, of course, when they clicked on that particular assignment, they actually were able to create their own slide presentation. And this is where they had the opportunity to kind of design their own. They had a way of including information. One other tool that students were able to use within this program is this Explore button, which I think that this particular skill set is important at making sure the students were working efficiently. So this Explore option had their ability to kind of go through and choose people. They could have looked up basic information. They could have also been able to insert images straight from this Explore button. So this was another aspect that I loved about Google Slides, is it kind of incorporated many of the Google applications. The other aspect that I thought of course, was a voice thread. But this portion of the project didn't quite turn out how I would have liked to. Because this was a new tool that we browsed through throughout the modules in this course, I didn't think about the sign up process for students, especially fifth graders, and how difficult that was. So, this particular aspect of the project was not all the way complete with every student. So, this is definitely an aspect of the lesson plan that I will definitely look in the future at improving. But once again, utilizing the classroom, Google Slides, and of course, all the different other applications within the Google Suite shows the technology rich lesson, and students thoroughly enjoyed going into slides, creating the images. So I really enjoyed this particular lesson. Definitely some fine tuning that needs to happen, and definitely increasing their ability to use these particular applications is very important at making sure they're building those skills and working more efficiently in the future. Thanks so much for listening.